This is the local and national news from Fabulous 103 FM, and it would be fabulous if you subscribed. It's easy. Click the subscribe button, and at the same time, click the like button too. Despite warnings not to protest during the Apec conference in the capital, several small groups tried to make their presence known yesterday. Riot police halted a small demo outside Terminal 21 in Bangkok. Just 100 people, and small ones of a few dozen each popped up and then disappeared during the day. Protesters who raced to the Victory Monument were reminded that that location is currently out of bounds for large group meetings, as are most areas around the buildings used for the Apec conferences. The FDA has threatened legal action against a marketing company promoting a nasal spray as a COVID-19 prevention. The spray is legally registered to sell in Thailand as a way to unblock a nose during a cold, have, according to the FDA, been promoted in some cases as a cure-all for COVID, the flu and even RSV. An ex-policeman kicked out of the force months ago has been tracked down and arrested following a tip-off. The man had thrown 6 hand grenades into his neighbour's home as they sat eating dinner, following a falling out. At the time, the ex-cop admitted the deed, but claimed that he was drunk at the time. The body of a missing Frenchman who'd chosen to wander off on his own 5 days ago has been found below a local hillside in Suratani's National Park. Hope had been raised as a signal from the 34-year-old's mobile phone was picked up by authorities who pinpointed the area, but it's now thought that his body had slipped from one point to another on the cliffside, activating the phone. It's believed that he'd wandered off into the forest alone despite being offered a guide to go along with him. Only a full autopsy will reveal time of death, but no others are considered to have been involved with his dying. Exat, the tollway operators, aren't overjoyed with dark humour on the internet as, it seems, following a spelling error made on their welcome signs for Apec visitors, several have edited photographs and created comedic versions of the same event. Some, we're told, were over the top, rude or vulgar, and posters of those, according to EGAT, face lawsuits unless they remove them post-haste. Though the problem, of course, is that as fast as they're removed, they'll be shared by others keen to bait and annoy. Meanwhile, the spelling on the sign was corrected and a display of incorrect flags was removed from the signage too. And according to Signage News, a Thai man has asked the Lawyers' Council to represent him in an action against a local public hospital. It seems that he injured his foot and was treated for a week but needed an operation. He signed papers to operate on his foot, but woke up to find half his leg had been amputated. He claims the papers he signed were doctored, and the hospital denies that. 2 top policemen in Ranong province have been moved on this week after video clips went viral showing them drinking after hours in a local bar and then being rude to subordinates who told the bar to close. As always, the damning evidence spread on social media and investigations are underway. Looks like Sunday in Thailand will see the World Cup for free on televisions despite the ups and downs of negotiations between the Sports Authority of Thailand and FIFA. Word is that an extra discount was given, but that's been eaten up by additional taxes. A price of $33 million has been published, plus 15% of some kind of tax. The total, 1.4 billion baht. If it happens, well, that's good for viewers here. If not, the country saves the money and all watch online instead, from overseas viewing platforms. Either way, fans will get to watch, as there's no word as to where the balance of the cost will be coming from. An ex-school director has been finally sentenced to life in a Sakau court after being found guilty of the killing of a 19-year-old student of whom he was particularly fond. 10 years ago, the girl disappeared, only to be traced years later to a Jane Doe corpse found in a Chonburi cemetery. The 57-year-old was ordered to compensate her family to the tune of 1.7 million baht and was taken away to a cell without bail. Meanwhile at home, with a video link to the interview with the Thai barrister now shared on our website and YouTube. The latest interview, this time with the expat funeral director's Armour, goes live later today, explaining the process of organising a funeral, but with a shock point made by the company that may well induce you to making plans for your funeral ahead of time. At the junction on top of Pratomnak Hill, motorists were held up after a series of telegraph poles collapsed onto the highway, this after a transformer fire that saw much of the area disconnected from mains power for some while. The Pattaya region again yesterday, Thursday, saw flooding after the daily afternoon storms. Those storms will continue into next week and manage to cause flooding to homes and businesses, despite billions being spent this year on new drainage. And with the Met Office promising more storms daily throughout the weekend and highs of 31 dropping down to 24, local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or program, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.